As some of you know, if you've watched my channel, I have quite a collection of portable battery PA. One of the downsides of that collection is every 2 months maximum, I have to go through the whole list and plug them in and recharge the battery, because it's not great for batteries, lithium-ion batteries, to leave them at 0%. So that's what this video is all about. So I broke out the Alto, which I haven't used in maybe a month and a half or so. It's been in storage, and I broke out the Bose S1 Pro Plus, and I did find a surprise that I want to share with you. So the Bose S1 Pro Plus, I hadn't used it for a month or so, and it was dead. It was at 0%. So I had to throw that on the charger real fast, because you don't want to leave any battery at 0% for too long. On the other hand, when I went to the Alto, I was 100% sure, expecting it to be dead also, because I hadn't used that for even a longer term, maybe a month and a half or so. And to my great surprise, it was at 100%. And I played some tunes with it for the last day or so, and it's still at 100%. So I'm really shocked, and that's definitely a selling feature. I know the S1 Pro Plus, I've only had it less than a year, and I know the previous model, the S1 Pro, had battery issues of draining, and I wasn't expecting that problem to continue on to the S1 Pro Plus. I was expecting the battery technology to improve, and I guess I was wrong. So that's a big plus in the Alto column. There is a downside to the Alto I do want to mention right off the bat, and that is the Alto battery is not user replaceable, where the Bose is easily swapped out pretty quick with a screwdriver, and the battery comes right out. Now the Alto, just yesterday, it has a whole bunch of little Allen head screws. So I did open it up. There's a little door there, and I got to the battery, and it's all, I don't know, Velcroed in with straps and stuff. So I didn't even attempt to go further and take it out. But I guess you can replace it. It's just obviously not as quick to be swapped out as the Bose. So again, big factors. You decide at the end of this video which meets your needs. So going back to my past videos, I had compared the Alto when I got it about a little over a year ago to the S1 Pro, not the Plus model. I didn't have the Plus model at the time. So when you go back and see it, you'll see a comparison video. I'll put the link down below. And there's a link to a sound demo. I want you to keep in mind that is not the S1 Pro Plus. So let's talk about sound signature, because to me, that's pretty much the most important part of speaker listening, is how good it sounds and how good it sounds to your audience, paying customers, right? And so the Bose wins hands down. It's a more expensive speaker, obviously, and it has a feature that no other portable PA speaker has, and that's called 180 degree dispersion. And what that means is one speaker will throw music to the right and the left and the center in a 180 degree arc. In comparison to your normal point source speaker like this Alto, I'm not sure the exact figure of the Alto, it's probably 90 degrees, maybe 100 if it's pushing it. But so 180 degrees, no other company has been able to match the Bose technology. Some companies come close. I think the closest is like 120 degrees. So that's definitely audible. You put that one speaker in a room, and that Bose, it really fills a much larger space. So that's definitely a factor to consider when you want to decide if you want to spend the extra money. On the other hand, the Alto is just as loud as the S1 Pro Plus, which is surprising. And the figure is 106 dB. That is good volume. I have heard the downside, though. One of the comments I read about someone reviewing the Alto, they said the mic channel is not very loud, where the Bose, that was a problem on the original S1 Pro Plus, and I heard that's been improved. I'm not doing mic tests. I'm not a singer. I'm actually an electronic drummer, so I don't do any kind of microphone tests. But as far as volume, that's pretty impressive that the Alto equals the Bose S1 Pro Plus. And if you're thinking about getting two Altos, because we'll talk about price in a little while, so two Altos, when you add a second Alto, you add 3 more dB. So you would be at 109 dB for the pair. And 109 dB compared to 106 is noticeable. So that's something else to consider as far as volume. Talking about sound signature though, again, the higher priced speaker, the Bose, it's famous for its very smooth mid-range. Many people, including myself, consider it hi-fi sounding, something you can listen to for a long time, pleasing to the ear like a stereo system. The Alto, on the other hand, has a very clean high end, as clean as the new Bose. The Bose has improved their high end, so the Alto is nice and clean high end, but it doesn't have that. It's missing the mid range. It's missing that mid range, and it's definitely missing bass. So the bass on the S1 Pro Plus is considerably better. Matter of fact, it's a big step up from the S1 Pro, the original. Some people say it's a little too much, but you can lower it with the bass control. So I really like the Alto as far as its clarity. If you're adding a subwoofer to the Alto, then all those advantages of the Bose goes away, because that subwoofer fills in the mid-range and obviously the low end. But then again, people will say, well, that defeats the purpose. If you're buying such a small little speaker, who's going to purchase a subwoofer? Well, people like me who like full range sound. They like their low end and they like a nice crisp high end. So Alto meets that playing situation if you have the sub. And you don't need a large sub, something small. I use the Bose sub 1, which isn't tiny, but it's a nice sub. But check out my videos. I do have videos about other subwoofers that work, mainly thinking of the Bose 8. It's a tiny little $200 sub that works really well with the Alto. Check that video out. So there you go. As far as the sound signature, you get what you pay for in this situation. The Bose is definitely a nicer sound, fuller sound, more hi-fi, but the Alto is surprisingly clean. If you are a DJ who just needs a booth monitor, the Alto would be check all your boxes. Or again, if you're a DJ and you're doing ceremonies, just announcements on a microphone or some background music, the Alto is fine too. Okay, next category, weight. Well, they're both super lightweight. The Bose S1 Pro Plus actually is lighter than the S1 Pro. I think it's lighter by 1 pound. It's 14.5 pounds, but the Alto is our winner at 12 pounds. So that is super lightweight. I picked both up. It's not super noticeable, but I guess if you put it on a scale, it's the Alto, it's going to win. I have heard people who put 2 Altos in a 10-inch carry bag. I don't know if you can do that with the Bose. It's slightly bigger, as you can see. Let's take a look closer at the size difference. So the top view, the Alto is slightly smaller. Again, nothing that would sway me to buy one or the other unless you carry a ruler around with you. But the weight is definitely a factor. But the size, I don't think that's going to come into play unless you have a very, very small car. And this shows you the width of the 2 speakers. Again, the Bose is slightly, maybe 1 inch wider. Again, not a factor in my book. Here, both speakers are in the tilt back position, which is nice. When you're playing without a stand, tilt it up to you for better sound projection. If you're sitting on a chair playing guitar, the sound goes toward you. Okay, let's do the same tilt back test, but here we're indoors on a carpet. Go to the Alto. No problem. Let's try the S1 Pro Plus. What? No, it does not work. What is that? This was a surprise to me when I bought this speaker. You know, this was never a problem with the original S1 Pro. I think I don't know. They're just the design of the speaker. I can't figure it out because actually I can't figure it out. The S1 Pro was heavier by 1 pound, and that's probably what did it. But then again, the Alto, the featherweight at 12 pounds, has no problem. So that is a downside. Is it a deal breaker? Not for me, but it is kind of strange. This is something that kind of gets me annoyed. Why do companies take a feature that is good, delete it on the new model, and then charge more money? So what am I talking about? As you can see on the Alto to the left, you see the blue status light. That's nice. So from across the room, I can tell my gear is on, ready to go. Especially when you're in front of an audience and you're about to hit that first note. You want to make sure your speaker's on. The Bose, is it on? I'm not sure. I don't see a status light. Let's see. Yeah, it's on. So the only way to tell if it's on is to look at the side and go across the venue and look at the side of the speaker to make sure it's on. I don't like that at all. I know some people don't like a status light. They think it's annoying. But to me, again, as a musician, I think it's reassuring to know my gear is on from a distance. Bad move, Bose. Another feature you expect to see some improvement on the Bose, on their new model, is a master volume control. Musicians have been asking for that and criticizing that the Bose speakers for ages that there's no master volume control. And here on the Alto, we have one. Let's look over here to the Bose. Nope, we have channel 1 control, channel 2, Bluetooth control, but there's no master volume again. So disappointing. I don't know why Bose can't do that. Some people think they want you to buy their expensive mixer, which has a master volume control. I don't know. Another nice feature that the Bose is lacking still is on the app, there is a mid control. And Bose has been lacking mid control forever. Even on my Pro 32, which is $3,300, the app does not have a mid control, just highs and bass, no mids. Here's something I've never used on the Alto, but it's a feature that the Bose doesn't have. It has on the battery, it has standard and eco mode. And I believe eco mode, it doesn't use as much battery. I heard it can go as far as 24 hours. So that's kind of incredible. The downside is the Alto, I guess when you charge it, it trickle charges. So it charges and it takes many more hours than the Bose. So which one is more important to you? That's for the buyer to decide. Both speakers have the advantage of, on their Bluetooth, they boot up immediately when you open up your phone or your computer, whatever your source is. I know from my other favorite portable PA speaker, actually my number one favorite, the eVerse 8, the Bluetooth, it doesn't boot up. You have to go to the settings and click on it. So this is a lot faster. A common question I get on my channel is, should I get a second S1 Pro Plus? I need a little more volume or a little more coverage. And I would say, if you're not so set on, exactly looking the same as far as the logo, which I don't think your paying audience really cares about, I would get an Alto as your second aux speaker. It wouldn't be stereo, but then again, in a live situation, most people are not sitting in a sweet spot. But that little Alto will give you the same volume as the S1 Pro Plus. It'll give you same high-end clarity, and then the Bose will fill in the mids and the lows. So I think that would be the better way to go if you're looking to save a little money. A big advantage of the Bose is the app and the controls for the volume. So on the Alto here, the volume controls for each channel, it's just like a dial, and you have no idea exactly where you're at. Zero idea. And you can't tell if you're at 9 o'clock or 9:30. There's no way of knowing. And the app isn't much better. The app is a slider that's kind of glitchy, and it doesn't give you any digital readout or any hash marks. So it's a weakness of this unit. On the other hand, the Bose is, it's again digital. It's hard to read in the sunlight, almost impossible for both units. But at least on the Bose, they have hash marks on the volume control and on the app. So to me, that's a big advantage. Talking about using either or the speakers for a computer speaker, just yesterday, for the first time, I tried the Alto with my desktop system, and it, like I said, it booted up immediately, and I was amazed the sound that it filled. My large kitchen that goes into the den area where I have my computer. It would really, that one little speaker really cover that area with good quality sound. And in comparison to the internal speakers of the computer, it's just night and day. Okay, as far as reliability, I do need to mention there have been some reports on Alto, more than Bose. Bose has been around longer. And so even myself, when I first purchased the speaker, one of the channels had a little static. Since I'm not using both channels, I never returned it, but so I experienced that myself. So I would say Bose is the more reliable speaker. But again, it comes down to the old adage, you get what you pay for. So in summary, you're probably saying, hold on, you forgot something. Yeah, I forgot the most important part, to some that is, price. So what is the Alto going for? What is the Bose? Well, the Bose had gone down in price to $600, and then the tariffs arrived, and now it's back up to $700. The Alto had gone up to $400, or maybe $450, I'm not sure, and it went down, back down to $350. That's where I bought it for a year ago, which was before the tariffs, so it's gone down. I remember when I purchased it, there was a sale actually for two of them for $600, but that's not available anymore. So you can get two Altos for one S1 Pro Plus. Is it worth it? Well, personally, I would say no. If I wanted to fill a larger space with more volume, I would go with the two Altos. You could spread those speakers apart, 10 or 15 feet apart, and it'll make up for the 180 degree of the Bose. It would sound better, probably. It won't have the bass or the mid-range. You'll still have just a very, very clean, high-end system. Okay, but if you have the money and you're just looking for one speaker, the Bose, hands down, again, you get what you pay for. It's more of a hi-fi, professional, smoother sounding, full-range sound. So leave that to you, but the Alto is definitely lighter. Carrying them back and forth to the house and to the yard here. I had the Bose in one hand, and I had the Alto with my phone in the other hand. I think I was holding the Alto with two fingers and with the phone with the rest of the fingers. And it's just amazingly light at 12 pounds. Okay, I'll leave it at that. You decide which one meets your needs. I'm not going to say which is the better speaker. It all comes down to your application. Go back and see the sound demo. I really should do a sound demo on these two, because the sound demo I did do was the Bose S1 Pro versus the Alto. So who knows, maybe I will do a sound demo coming up in the future. I hope you enjoyed. This is Bill. Later.